Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yet again, it is another week gone by, and it is another podcast to reflect upon media and also life. Just going to start off by checking myself, first of all, making sure I'm okay, making sure I'm all right. Um, Honestly, sometimes it's rough, but I'm doing okay, doing all right. I mean, another day awake is a W in the W column. So yeah, episode 70. Father to Many is the title of this podcast. And there is a lot to get to as it pertains to today, and we're gonna get right into it, starting with. So, if you don't remember, a famed actor, somebody who is a certain he's almost a role model to a lot of children, a lot of young adults, and just a positive being in the most telling way. Will Smith today on 7/29/2022 issued an apology to Chris Rock for, of course, previously slapping him on live television at the Oscars. Now, let me just tell you something about the Oscars. The Oscars is not really an award show that man, I might be wrong on this, but I think that the Oscars is quite possibly the most boring award show ever. Boring. I don't even think, honestly, when that stuff happened with uh, Will Smith boycotting the Oscars because they didn't nominate black people, it wasn't about not nominating black people. I really just think that Will Smith was mad that he didn't get nominated. And that's why him and Jada boycotted the Oscars. And then to boycott the Oscars and then all of a sudden come back and be sitting amongst people who didn't really want you to be there in the first place, I thought that was kind of hypocritical. Just in my own opinion. And then, Chris Rock hosting the award show for like the second time. The first time was very controversial because of, him being black and them showing like, hey, we like black people. He's hosting our show. I mean, for the right price, any black person who's in Hollywood who doesn't care about their integrity or dignity will probably go and host the Oscars. But that's for another conversation. What we're really here to look at today is he recently dropped an apology after some months of just being hazed by the internet, social media, um, and just all of media being bashed for basically going on stage and slapping a man in front of in front of the world. You basically got up on stage and slapped the man in front of the whole entire world, and then after that, they still allowed this man to go up there and accept an award, which I thought was very like I thought that was dumb. Like, why would y'all allow this man to be up here accepting an award after what he just did on y'all stage? Crazy. But let's take a look at this apology. He says, it's been a minute. Over the last few months, I've been doing a lot of thinking in personal life. You asked a lot of fair questions that I wanted to take some time to answer.
Mhm.
Man, man. He looks, honestly, I'm gonna be honest and tell you that he looks stressed. He still looks stressed. And whatever therapy he's been doing and being like coached and just therapeutic energy and just being able to like keep himself away from just the public in general, he looks stressed. He looks stressed. And you know, when Will Smith decided he wanted to be on the internet publicly and just do a whole bunch of like content on the internet, I was like, yeah, this is so cool. This is so nice. But the thing about the internet is that no matter what you do, no matter who you are, you can be some big, it doesn't matter. You can be a big celebrity. Once you do something, once you do something bad or do something that affects somebody else, the internet will never let you forget it. That this is just like something I said before. The internet will never let you forget that you slapped Chris Rock. And that's why it's so bad for Chris. I feel so bad for Chris Rock because like, Chris Rock's kids are gonna have to see this forever. Chris Rock's brother, brother's kids is gonna have to see this forever. Chris Rock's mom is gonna have to like see this forever. Like, it's gonna be on the internet forever. No matter how many apologies Will Smith decides to give Chris Rock. It's I don't know. It's it's just one of those things where the internet is always gonna
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? Um, I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. Um,
I feel like at some point in time, I feel like he wants this to be resolved. Like I feel like at some like in some sort of way, Will Smith kind of wants this to be resolved and reconciled, like truly reconciled. And that's good that he want that. He can be he's somebody who can be held accountable for the things he's done. I mean, obviously, bro, literally has a tell-all book about any and everything that has to do with his life. And in that book, he takes accountability for a lot. And this is just another one of those moments where he just wants to right his wrong. But I mean, the thing about it is, you can't tell somebody how to how long they can react. I think that's the thing here as well, because he's extending an olive branch to Chris Rock, but obviously Chris Rock said, bro, I'm not ready. And I don't think I'll ever be ready in the time period that you think I should be, basically.
so I will say to you, um, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. Um, I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize.
Okay. So he's taking the time to not only apologize to Chris Rock, but also seems like he's gearing towards his family too, and how this is affecting them as a whole, family unit, and how this is making them look and everything like that. That's very commendable on the side of it's very commendable on Will Smith's part. Very commendable.
And, I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. We had a great relationship. Tony Rock was my man. And this is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment. And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way.
Growth is really being able to be in front of a camera and just, I don't know, man, just being able to be in front of a camera. Like, no matter what he says, the internet is still gonna it's still gonna be people on one side like, he's still wrong, da 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 da. He should have said this or he should have said that. And there's gonna be people on the other side that are like, there we go, he's commendable, great for him, good. Hopefully he continues to go to a therapist and just try his best to just heal from this. But I mean, like I said, either way it goes, he's gonna be damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, because he's a celebrity, and I don't know why people put celebrities in high regards, because most celebrities get worshipped by regular, ordinary people who sit on the internet and just comment about people's lives. That's usually how it is, man.
To handle a feeling of disrespect or insults. After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, I made a choice on my own, from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it.
So Jada didn't roll her eyes and then look at you. I mean, regardless, she didn't. She don't have to say nothing to you. It's just a look. It's a look. It's a look like, you gonna let him say that about me? Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on now. Like, you're like, at the end of the day, you did what you did because the woman gave you a look, bro. Like, come on. I feel like it was just a look. It was a look she gave you, and the look was, I'm sure, very displeased. So I'm sure that's what it
I'm sorry, babe. I want to say sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us. To all my fellow nominees, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me, and it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove's eyes. It happened on Questlove's award, and it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient. What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down? So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my.
Now, I want to know, is this like a script? Is this a script? Is he reading from like a teleprompter or something like that, or is this like just his genuine work? because I mean that that would be the only thing that would make me kind of not like think this is like uh genuine. If this was like something that somebody wrote for him instead of, his own words, then I would be like, it doesn't feel genuine because like somebody wrote this for you. If this is scripted, if this is something that he did not write himself, if this is something that somebody else wrote, which by some account, while I've been watching this video, I don't really get that sort of sense of like, oh, hey, it's scripted, oh, hey, it's not coming from his own head. I feel like literally been he's literally been going day by day trying to put the pieces together in his head to bring himself to this moment right
Central trauma. I hate when I let people down. So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. And the work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself. Right? I'm human.
Yeah.
And I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit. So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking. But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And, if you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
All right. That is the end of the video. Honestly, what would do it for me? And I thought it, honestly, I can't, like I said, I can't tell if this is genuine or not. But I mean, what would do it for me is if he did this sort of thing every week. That, like, do this with a therapist. That would do it for me. That would probably be like it, like just being able to see like how a man can like change from his mistake. Because no, like let's just put it into perspective. No person on this earth is above mistakes. Rich, poor, tall, short, fat, skinny. Nobody is above mistakes. Nobody is above doing something that could potentially destroy them, their 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 psychological, their something that could totally just damage your reputation. Nobody is above that. Whether you work in an office building, whether you're security, whether you work in the plants, firefighter, police officer, whatever. Nobody is above that. And the sooner we realize that um people can make mistakes and genuinely be sorry, I think the better our the next generations to come will be. Now, that's not to say that like maybe this was like a publicist who put this together. Maybe, I'm not sure. But hey, only time will tell if it's really genuine or anything like that. But I thought it was a good gesture. Um, I would just like to see Will Smith and Chris Rock in the same room, and then that would really put it all together and notch it up, and just really drive home the accountability factor in this instance. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So next story is going to be a New York pastor being robbed during a Sunday service on camera. Um, just gonna get into this video right here. So more information. Let me just pull it up quickly. More information. So, y'all just give me a second before I start the video. All right. So it says, and this is from the Daily Beast. All right. Pastor, Brooklyn pastor Lamar Whitehead made headlines when a live stream captured thieves stealing his extremely expensive jewelry mid sermon. Now he's under the spotlight for allegedly robbing someone himself. According to a lawsuit filed last year. Okay, so this is something else. On top of him being robbed during a sermon he was doing, Whitehead is accused of stealing most of practitioner Pauline Anderson's life savings, totaling $90,000. The city cited court papers claiming that Whitehead convinced Whitehead convinced Anderson to invest money in one of his firms. Excuse me. I don't know why that happened. All right. It says promising that he would use it to help her buy a home in return. Whitehead allegedly said he'd pay her 100 per month to cover living costs. Yet months passed without payment, after which Whitehead allegedly told Anderson that he viewed her investment as a donation to his now defunct campaign for Brooklyn Borough President. Whitehead, who is often seen in designer duds and gold chains, was robbed of somewhere between $400,000 and $1 million worth of jewelry on Sunday. That's like, I believe that's Sunday of Sunday. What is that? Sunday, July 24th. Okay. He has served time for identity fraud and grand larceny in the past and is close friends with Mayor Eric. Okay, so we're about to get into the video. So basically, the pastor got robbed for about like $400,000 to $1 million worth of jewelry while he was doing a sermon. So let's just take a look a little bit deeper into the video. Shout out to the Family TV. He or she or whoever the team of people is that do these videos always do a incredible job of covering the story. Let's get into it.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die what you were about to go through? Yo. All right. All right. Yo, all right. Nobody move. I told them, I don't think that's a good idea. Let's go straight to the precinct. However, the attorney convinced them to go to her office. I told the officers, I'm going to go get them. Please give me the ability and the opportunity to turn this young man in.
That's interesting. So that is the pastor right there. The pastor has on, what is that, Fendi? Bro, pastor got on Fendi. Pastor got on a gold chain. What is that, a Cartier? Are those Cartier glasses right there? Oh, this pastor is dripped in drip. Like, this pastor is draped in drip, bro. He draped in designer. Like, what the hell?
You understand what he's accused of and what he's alleged of.
Family, imagine going to Sunday service, getting ready with your family in the morning, and when y'all arrive at church, your pastor ended up getting robbed by gunpoint on live streaming services with over 100 people in attendance. Well, that's what we have here. Apparently, this past Sunday, during Sunday service, a New York pastor who been in the news for some controversy, which we will continue and go over, but have gotten robbed by gunpoint. While
I'm gonna be fair. If my pastor is draped in designer the way this dude is draped in designer, I can't go to his church respectfully. I can't go to the same. I can't go to a church where a pastor is flossing on me. Like come on now. Like that's crazy. Like that's just me. Like I can't do it. Like you draped in designer. You coming in Balenciaga, Fendi, and other foreign clothing I can't pronounce. You driving in the nicest whips and everything. Like I can, respectfully speaking, I can't come to your church. Like, bro, you talking about tides? Like, bro, obviously the tides are going towards your lifestyle, sir. Like, come on now, like, bro.
his Sunday service was being streamed online, and also with so many people in attendance, as well as his wife and kids. Just when you thought you seen it all, family, we're gonna cover all this. But remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we're gonna jump right to it. Let's take a stop to New York. Brooklyn, New York to be specific, family. This is the place where Pastor Lamar Whitehead, where his church service is at International Ministry.
Nah, we're not gonna go past that. Whoa.
Place where
Hold up. Look at, bro, he's not a pastor. He is not a pastor, dog. Like, what is this? What is this, bro? What is that? What? Nah, fam. Nah. You ain't no pastor. You a hustler. You a con artist, bro. Like, what is this right here? Ain't no pastor doing this and preaching the word of God. Like, come on now, like, you look richer, like, bro, you richer than the whole entire congregation. You pulling up in nice whips. Like, I don't respect nobody who's a pastor who dressed up like this in gaudy jewelry and you know, fine silky linens and whatnot, and everybody else in the church look regular. Like, I don't respect no person that's doing this, and this is why the church get looked down on in the first place, because of pastors like this. This is a bad representation of the church, bro. Like,
Pastor Lamar Whitehead, where his church service is at International Ministry in Canarsie. This is how the inside of that venue looks, family. Also, this is where Pastor Lamar Whitehead does his Sunday sermon. But on this Sunday service, this one was a little different. 3 masked gunmen came inside of his church, only coming directly at him, robbing him. According to NYPD, the masked robbers managed to get away with $400,000 in jury. And while Pastor got $400,000 in jury, let alone in one possession, is alarming as well. Fam, let's stay on track and go over some facts. Footage shows the moment that the bishop was wearing lots of bling and was robbed at gunpoint by 3 men while he was live streaming his.
But see, here's the thing now. That raises even more of a question. Why are you wearing what is it? Why are you wearing all this jewelry during a church service? Look a little closer. You wearing all this jewelry during a church. All you wearing almost $500,000 in jewelry, and so is your wife. Some know some of this. We getting to it. We getting to it. We trying to figure it out. Come on.
Sermon. Dressed in a maroon suit, wearing a long gold chain and a large ring on each finger, Mr. Whitehead was videoed telling his faithful before the men arrived with the guns, how many of you lost your faith because you saw somebody else die? Mr. Whitehead, who was seen falling to his knees when he seen the robbers, is also heard saying, all right. The men are seen circling around the stage as they robbed the bishop, his wife, and the congregation. Pastor Whitehead later told his followers on social media that his congregation is now traumatized by that incident along with his young daughter.
So you mean to tell me, not only were you wearing, you and your wife, not only were y'all wearing almost $500,000 in jewelry, not only were you doing a sermon with chain on, 2 rings on each finger, I'm sure that the whatever you were dressed in would cost about $800 to like $2,000 maybe. Not only were you wearing all of that, but your wife was also wearing jewelry, close to $500,000, I'm sure as well. Not only that, but they also, after they took your jewelry, they took your wife's jewelry. They started to run through the congregation like diarrhea. I can only imagine that whoever was attending that church, is not attending the church anymore. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's very it's very traumatizing to like be in a church and the church get robbed and you happen to be there. So you're targeted as well because you're there. Sick.
Bishop was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of his Sunday sermon today, and it was all caught on camera. The service was being live streamed this morning when he says 3 to 4 men walked in with guns. He spoke at length with CBS 2's Lisa Rosner about why he believes he was targeted and his message for the suspects.
5 to 10 minutes into preaching Sunday morning on Remsen Avenue in Canarsie, Bishop Lamar Whitehead saw the door in the back of the room kick open.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die? What you about to go through? Yo. All right. I seen 3 to 4 men come in. That's all right. It's pretty much stating that I'm not going to do anything, right? Because I know y'all coming for me. Y'all coming straight to me. I don't want my parishioners hurt, right?
Wait a minute. He said, I know y'all coming for me. Y'all might think I'm crazy, but I think this is I know y'all are coming for me. And then when they come in, he's like already like willing to get on the floor. Like, I don't know. Something about this really stinks because if I look at if I go back to what he was, the fact that it's like, okay, here are a couple of things that made me think this was an inside job. Number one, it's like right after he says what he says, that's when they bust in. How did they know to bust in like right at the time of like right after he says something? That makes me think it's an inside job. And also, what makes me also believe it was an inside job is he served time on fraud. Ooh, fraud. He's been to jail for fraud. So, fraud, the people busting in after he said what he said, like his sermon or whatever. And also, he's friends with Eric Adams. That's another thing. And he just really dresses. He's really dressed flamboyant. Like he's very flamboyant, dressing, flash. He's a very flashy pastor. Like some mega church. Don't get me wrong. He's not the only pastor. There are some mega church pastors who are very flashy, but not flashy to the point where they wearing gold chains and earrings and almost 400,000 in jewelry and open like that. I mean, you might see TD Jakes in some Versace, and that's probably all you'll probably see him in some designer. That's probably it. Yeah, I've seen. Of course, I have my thoughts about Joel Osteen and how he's how he used what's it called money to buy him a house and get a new Ferrari and all this other stuff. I mean, that's another flosser right there. Don't get me wrong, there are some mega church pastors that be flossing, but I mean, they ain't like none of them tops this guy. He literally wearing jewelry out in the open like he's a rapper or something like that. Like I don't know if I can make sense of it. Like whoa, but yeah, this all of that makes me think. Yeah, this was an inside job. He's been to jail. He's been to jail for fraud. Yeah. I feel like this is inside work,
man. Got women and children there. As I got down, one went to my wife and took all her jewelry and had the gun in front of my 8-month-old baby's face. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain, and then I had chains underneath my robe. He started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they knew. They watched and they knew that I have other jewelry.
The church's live stream shows the gun being held on the pastor.
They had the guns on my deacons that was at the door.
Whitehead says what you don't see on camera are around 100 congregants who were in the room. Men, women, and children dropped to the floor in silence.
My church is traumatized. The women and children are still crying. Still crying. Babies are still crying.
Police say the men took off in a white Mercedes.
I'm sorry, I don't want to keep doing this, but it's another thing I keep noticing. Anytime he is in front of a camera, he's very clean looking. He looks very clean. He looks way too clean in each one of these news interviews I've seen. That news interview that I saw earlier in the video where he's dressed in Fendi down to the toes with the little, I don't know if that's a tennis bracelet or VVS diamonds or whatever. Like, bro, he is too clean. Like, he's way too fresh looking, man. Like, yeah, he's way too fresh looking. I just wanted to put that out.
Whitehead says cops have a license plate and witnesses saw the men change clothes outside.
These men, they need to turn themselves in. I forgive you, and I'm praying for you. And I hope that God deliver you from the mindset of who you are at this time.
Whitehead believes his family was targeted because of the publicity he received when he helped turn in the suspect wanted in the fatal subway shooting of 48-year-old Daniel Enriquez in May.
I turned them in, but the media called me the bling bling bishop. They had my Rolls Royce car all over everywhere, and I feel that played a part in this. I think all pastors should be able to get permits for pistols.
Bro, stop it right now. They should all be able to get permits for pistols. Stop it right now. You stop it right now, sir. You dressing too nice. You got Jewelry on. You all nice and comfy and cozy like a rapper. You driving nice whips, $500,000 whips. Got $500,000 in jewelry, $500,000 in clothing. And you talking about pastors need to get permits for pistols. I know the gun laws are crazy in New York and everything like that, but sir, stop it. Stop it right now. It was gonna happen regardless. It was gonna happen regardless, sir. You were gonna get found out about with your fresh dressing self, with your flamboyant self. It was gonna happen. It was gonna happen, sir. It was going to happen. Come on now. It doesn't matter if you would have been on the news or not. People, for real, were probably watching you anyway. But I feel like this was a setup in the first place. I feel like he's in. I feel like as I said, he's in.
The NYPD is investigating, and Whitehead says the mayor and top police brass have called him, pledging support to find the suspects. Fortunately, no one was hurt. In Canarsie, Brooklyn, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
In a statement, a spokesperson for Mayor Adams said, quote, "No one in this city should be the victim of an armed robbery, let alone our faith leaders and congregants worshiping in the house of God. The NYPD is investigating this crime and will work tirelessly to bring the criminals involved to justice."
Now, fam, now that y'all got that out the way, and before we continue, I had to do all that video in it, so make sure ain't no copyright issues. But let's stay on track. Now, family, they saying this incident is stemming from a situation that happened not even a month ago. But before we cover that incident, let's get something understood. For someone to go inside of a pastor's church to rob him at gunpoint, fam, that's personal. See, back in May, that pastor hit the headlines when he negotiated the surrender of a subway shooting suspect who was wanted for the killing of a Goldman Sachs employee.
I told them, I think that's a good idea. Let's go straight to the precinct. However, the attorney...
Now he's trying to blame the media for outing him as the bling bling pastor, but bro, you're doing it to yourself. As I stated earlier, Fendi, chains on, Cartier glasses, that's at least $2 to $5 grand you wearing all together. 5, maybe even more. And you talking about the media is their fault.
Convinced him to go to her office. I told the officers I'm going to go get him. Please give me the ability and the opportunity to turn this young man in. He understands what he's accused of and what he's alleged of. As we were waiting for the attorney to come downstairs, walking in, there was a charade of officers with guns drawn. And I asked him, I said, he was going to turn himself in. Why would you guys do it this way? So, he did not get an opportunity to come to the fifth precinct, turn himself in the way he wanted to. This man is standing with his innocence. His family has untold paperwork showing that he has mental health issues. As he states, he doesn't remember anything. My heart goes out to the victim's family. But pastor, my heart goes out to the victim's family. My prayers go out to the victim's family. And this is what I echo to the family when I said, let's come in and let's surrender. Mayor Adams has been in contact all morning, and he was ready to be here for the young man to be turned in.
The family. It wasn't the fact that he helped turn in the suspect. It was his appearance and everything else, and him claiming to be a pastor. See, he got a deep history himself. He's an ex-con that did 5 years in jail. But that's not even the fact at hand, fam. It's the fact that this pastor was in a low-income neighborhood pulling up in Rolls Royces, claiming to be a pastor.
I'm telling you.
And it wasn't just about his six-figure car, fam. It was also the fact he was wearing five-figure shirts and also five-figure suits from Fendi. The public ate it up, fam. He even did Sunday services and posted online with big chains and Cuban links. The family, put this in perspective. Imagine your grandmother or your mom or your loved one going to a Sunday service. You know what's going on in y'all household. Y'all might be struggling, it may be a hardship month, and y'all see this pastor got on the price of y'all mortgage on one necklaces. How would that make you feel? But as we stay on track and come towards the end, fam,
I would stop going to his church if that was me. I would defect from his church immediately. If that was me, man. Like, come on, bro. If that was me and that was my family was going to his church, I would immediately defect from his church if I was going to his church. But I mean, we don't. Nah, that's crazy, bro. But I for real think the pastor. Obviously, there's also a video of him going off on he's going off on another pastor. And this was really gonna take it to the next really gonna take it to the next level, because obviously, you know, that putting a pastor's reputation in question is not enough. So we about to get into this next video. Let me see if I can find it. I believe he was on IG. Let's just see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on.
Lord, I'm sorry. Larry, that's why I texted you and I said I'm probably going to hell.
So it says Pastor Whitehead violently goes off on blogger Larry Reed in Genesis War in July.
But that's not right. Genesis, as a pastor, that's not right. I mean, when that's not right. Your type alone should to get one of those nice LED backdrops of y'all see in all my studios and my mentor studios.
I got one in my church. Just pray we can hurry up and get in it. But I got one right there back there.
That's what I'm saying. If you rich, it's $80,000. Write the check to the ministry and buy it. A smaller one, 40 and 50,000. You can afford that. Take one of them chains. Why is y'all walking around here in Brooklyn and where your church is at? And you got hundreds of, like when I go to LA, everybody know I like diamonds. I don't wear all of that stuff when I go to these certain places. If I'm going to certain parts of Atlanta, I don't drive. I drive something else or I Uber there.
Well, Larry, I'm still ghetto. I'm still a little ghetto, and the Lord, he doing something in me, but I'm still a little ghetto. See, you see these like this right here, still costume jewelry. This was like $9.99. You see what I'm saying? So even don't know seriously, like I have some tennis bracelets and I don't steal. I'm killing.
We just gonna get on because they just clowning buddy. So
okay, now.
Location right now, I'm at my church, but we're at a temporary location because of reconstruction. But at the church that I'm in right now,
it's just a bunch of
live stream and laugh at that. I wouldn't even be mad.
Clowning, of course.
It's just funny,
right? Yes, let's see what he got to say. Here he is.
Okay.
Oh boy, let's see what he got to say.
Hey, Bishop.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You upset that I was laughing?
No, I'm not upset about anything. You guys have your prerogative to say what you want to say, but when you are turning what happened to my church into a laughing stock, that's what I have a problem with, because I gave you nothing but respect and nothing but honor when I met you. I treated you with nothing but respect, nothing but with straight integrity. And you want to sit here and talk about that I purchased my coloring when you bought yours. I never even knew you bought your coloring. I bought my coloring over a year ago. And when we both met, and let's keep it real, Larry, when we both met,
the real nigga is coming out now. The real nigga is coming out now, goddamn. Uh-oh.
You was in Times Square, you said, oh, shoot, I got the same color covenant. I didn't even know you. I just met you. So why would I purchase a truck like you have? I don't understand. Like I don't understand. And then, young lady, I don't know you. But when you sitting here talking about I have thumbtacks on the wall, no, those are backdrops. Those are step and repeats. Okay. And let me tell you, I purchased a church. I own a church. I own a whole block. And that's a temporary church right now. I own a whole block.
The flex is real.
So at the end of the day,
the flex is real.
You guys are coming at me and after what my church just went through, and y'all sitting here laughing and making a mockery of it. And you want to talk about hold on. You want to sit and talk about cloudy diamonds? Nobody talking about your diamonds, brother. If you feel that your diamonds is better than mine, so be it. So be it. Okay, no problem. Then you wanted to talk to me about our discussion about.
You don't have to be angry.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry at all. But at the end of the day, when I'm looking, my team sends me your live, Larry. I never disrespected you, brother. I treated you with nothing but respect and integrity. So from where this is coming from, I don't know. So please inform me.
Number one, it's opinion. You're viral. My job is to talk about what is viral.
Okay. Now looking at this, it makes me this is the part of the church that don't nobody really talk about, and this has to do with that part of the sermon that the pastor be talking about when he talk about church folk. This is church folk. Church folk being messy, church folk gossiping, church folk talking about other pastors talk about other pastors. Like, I truly and honestly believe that all three of these people in this live right now are, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I feel like they all hustle. All three of them, they all hustlers, bro. Like, I'm all for Buddy getting off on them and all this and all that, but at the same time, bro, you traumatize your whole entire congregation, you know, and that don't look good on you right now, because you're gonna lose all the people who go to your church because of this incident. Like, forget about it being funny, because it honestly, it's not funny at all, but you put your congregation in jeopardy because you're like flashy, like, and flashy like a rapper at that. That's what makes it even more like bro, it's almost like it seems like you don't even care that you put them at jeopardy because of your fly looking lifestyle.
I did you a favor.
No, I don't need no favors from you, Larry. But my question to you is, Larry, excuse me? Ma'am, I don't even know you, ma'am. All right? You need to stay out of this one. I don't even know you. All right? I don't even know you. You're trying to include yourself into this. You need to go and get some weight loss if you want to get sir.
Yo.
About what happened in my
Hey. Pastor Whitehead done. Yo, Pastor Whitehead done violated. Pastor Whitehead done violated. He said you need to go get some weight loss. Ugh. Yo, he just violated this. Yo.
church, when we got armed robbed, you're fat. That's what you are.
Yo.
I don't know you,
Okay.
all right?
Dog.
We can really get like this, all right? You're not going to laugh at the situation where a gun was pointed at my baby. Where a gun was pointed at I listened to it. I listened to it, all right? I listened to it. I listened to it. So I don't even know you. Number one, I don't know you. I don't know. Don't give me no props and laugh at me at the same time. Don't give me no props and laugh at me at the same time. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
He said we already there.
Let's go there, Biggie. Let's go there, Biggie.
Yo, he called her Biggie. Yo, this pass is crazy, bro. Yo, these passes is crazy, dog. Like, these ain't the passes that I grew up on, bro. What is going on here? Dog. I'm not supposed to be laughing at this, but bro is violating her. Crazy, like, bro, this is crazy. What?
Liar. You're a liar.
I'm a liar. That's so high. How am I lying?
Number
Biggie.
two,
Biggie big, not Biggie small, but you're Biggie big.
You are quote unquote
All right.
a bishop in the Lord's church.
That's right.
You have seen my face on your timeline before, and if you say you haven't, you're a liar.
I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. I do not know you. I do not know you. But at the end of the day, when you come here and try to talk about me and I don't know you at all. And at the end of the day, when I come on and I'm listening and I'm seeing you laughing at me, I'm sitting here, you laughing at me. I don't even know you. And then Larry, you want to sit and talk about, hold on. And Larry, you want to sit here and talk about, hold on. Larry, and then you want to sit here and talk about that I spoke about homosexuality. Hold on, man. Hold on one second. Nobody wants to talk to you, Biggie. Nobody wants to talk to you, Biggie.
Bro.
No, don't talk about women now. Don't talk about women because y'all laugh when Larry said about the gun and my daughter said y'all laugh. Y'all laugh. That's true.
Bro, they was real deal Holyfield before I got to this part. They was like doing all types of kikiing and kakan before this pastor got on here. They can't sit here and say they wasn't doing it, bro. Like, they would sit here making fun of this man when he wasn't even there to defend himself. But now they want to talk about, oh no, we weren't. Like, bro, he got every right in the world to get off on y'all because y'all was playing with his name. And y'all all ain't right because y'all all pastors and y'all supposed to be representing y'all church and y'all not. It just all look fake, honestly.
Y'all laugh. That's what you did. And you want to talk about if that's really true. That's what you said, Larry, and y'all laughed. And what you did was you laid on your carpet, and pretended to be me. You're disrespectful, okay? You're disrespectful. And at the end of the day, Larry, at the end of the day, I respected you. And if you want to talk about the LGBT community, we had a conversation. And my position was that I preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I'm not, if homosexuality is an abomination.
You're mean. You're mean.
What are you talking about me? How am I mean? I'm not mean. You're mean. You're mean. You're mean. Because at the end of the day, y'all sitting here laughing
this
at
is so messy, bro.
That 4 gunmen could have took my family life, and y'all sitting here making a mockery of it, all right?
We are not.
Big Blip right here want to sit here and talk about women, all right? And
Yo!
you want to sit here and validate.
He is on her head top.
You admitted that you're a faggot, all right?
Yo. Nah, he's not a pastor, bro. He just said the F word? And he's a pastor? Nah. But he's a hustler, bro. All three of them is hustlers, bro. That's crazy. That's deep right there. That's deep. That's deep. He just said the F word. And he was getting off on Shorty just now. He's still getting off on her, but bro. Yo. He on their head top. This is crazy. This is crazy enough, bro. Like, what? He just said the F word. What?
Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell you?
That's why I said it. That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
Knows the spirit that you operate by.
No. Everybody understands the response. Everybody understands the response. All right? Understand the response. I treated you with nothing but respect. I treated you with nothing but respect. All right? And you are a foul individual.
You do not have the level of integrity. You do not have the level of intelligence or self-control that you need.
Who cares about your
That is horrible.
Just
That is not even true.
making money. You just started making money. You just started making money.
And you got children and members.
Got all. So you can go to Bishop Jordan and you can talk to Bishop Jordan. You can talk to Bishop Jordan and say, "Oh, I brought the bishop," and I said that ain't right. Let me tell you something, all right? Long as God got me, I don't need none of y'all. I don't need none of you. None of you. All right? None of you. All right? And at the end of the day, you violated, Larry. You violated. Y'all laughing about what happened in my church.
We did not. You making that up.
Listen, let me tell you, Larry, you ain't built like that. All right? You're an old sucker. You ain't built like that. And this right here, when I sit here and laugh at my daughter and my father and my family, you're a flip. You're a fat flip, all right? And at the end of the day, let me tell you this, right? My family and my church could have got killed. My family and my church could have got killed, okay? And y'all sitting here laughing about it. Sitting here laughing about it, all right? And y'all all foul. You're foul.
All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back really quickly and just see if they was like for real laughing about the robbery.
I got one in my church. Just pray we can hurry up and get in it.
I mean, it's $80,000. Write the check to the ministry and buy it.
I just want to go back and just make sure
you can afford that. Take one of the chains. Why is y'all walking around here in Brooklyn and where your church is at, and you got hundreds of, like when I go to LA, I have, everybody know I like diamonds. I don't wear all of that stuff when I go to these certain places. If I'm going to certain parts of Atlanta, I don't drive. I drive something else or I Uber there.
Well, Larry, I'm still ghetto. I'm still a little ghetto, and the Lord, he doing something in me, but I'm still a little ghetto. See, you see these like this right here, still costume jewelry. This was like $9.99. You see what I'm saying? So even are authentic, but I don't know. I think a lot of times people are very showy because of that rejection that they're still battling. But the truth of the matter is that when people don't care for you, they just don't care for you. And I think that's why he's offering $50,000. I got $50,000. I'm putting up. Well, why? Like, why? Take that 50 grand and, like you said, buy you a LED screen. We got to do better than them thumbtacks that's in that shit that's hung up on the wall.
Or take the 50,000, or take 10 of it, and send your wife into counseling. She was just traumatized. They put the gun to the baby allegedly. We don't know. We ain't seen that.
Yeah,
we don't really know what he said in the live. I told everybody to get down. Nigga, we just saw the video. We did not tell nobody to get down. You said, all right.
Larry, I don't know. But his wife does seem to be sweet. His wife and I, we're Facebook friends, and
this is what it is. This is what it is.
Yeah. It was cackling and making fun of them. Now I see why he was going off on them just now. Damn. Seemed like those two people who are pastors ain't no better than him. So, at the end of the day, everything here is just cloudy and foggy as far as pastors in New York go, because like representation looks bad right now for I'm sure there are pastors that are nowhere near like these three, but yeah, I think there's a bigger spectrum to things with this pastor Whitehead, and I'm sure all of it, as they say, everything that is in the dark will come to light. We're going to be talking about Travis Scott really quickly, really fast. Travis Scott was at Rolling Loud 2022 in I believe it's Florida. And he did I guess you would call it a surprise set during Future's time slot, of course, right? Um, so after this performance, I ask you, since I started the podcast with Will Smith and how he, apologized and everything. Can Travis Scott come back? Is it possible for the rapper Travis Scott to come back? Is the public accepting of him after this horrific tragedy that happened? And I'm not leaning to either side. I'm just gonna play right down the middle, and I'm just gonna give what other people. There are people who are thinking, well, Travis Scott should pay, and Travis Scott should pay for the lives that were lost during concert of his. Um, he had every right, every moment to stop the festival, which has his name, which is his festival. He had every moment, and he didn't take it. Right? And on the other end of this, the other side of it is, yes, Travis Scott should be welcomed back. It wasn't his fault. He doesn't deserve all of this backlash that the media put on him for people doing various things at a concert. It's just like when I can use this as an example. It's just like when Tech Nine a long time ago got sued for a woman during like I believe it was like a Vans Warp tour or whatever. He wasn't even on stage, and I believe a woman like was crowd surfing and got dropped on her head or something like that. And he was the next person performing after whatever band it was that was performing, and that woman decided to sue Tech Nine for some reason. Just because he happened to be on stage when she fell or whatever, or something like that. Just like should should the artist be held accountable for something that happens at a festival? Like, for instance, another instance, Playboy Cardi is like probably the most like people are rowdy as hell when he's on stage. Playboy Cardi is on stage, a bunch of people are rowdy, everybody's going crazy, raging, whatever. Right? Who's at fault? Who's at fault for his music being very high energy, and the crowd, and a lot of the crowd just being very, 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 very high energy with that high energy music? Who's at fault for that? Who knows, man? Who knows? But I mean, whenever Travis Scott decides to drop the Utopia album, or of course, this isn't the first time he, is publicly performed. He did like another. He did something in Vegas called like the Day and Night Festival or whatever, something like that. But I mean, this is probably the biggest one because Rolling Loud is probably one of the biggest festivals that rappers do. So this is a big deal because of it, just the name Rolling Loud, because every big name artist goes and performs at Rolling Loud. So This is a big deal to just see him back on stage. Only time will tell what he's gonna do from here. All right, so if you didn't know, Tyga was in the news for a controversial song called "I Caramba," in which the video simulates a lot of like stereotypical Latino and or Hispanic references, which a lot of Hispanic and Latino people took offense to. And we're just gonna be a lot of like a lot of Hispanic people, or like Hispanic rappers or Hispanic gang members, like took to the internet to voice their displeasure, their distaste for the song and video. On one hand, it was a lot of them. It was a lot of Hispanic and Latino people saying, is that what you think of us? That it's so racist and everything like that. And a lot of other people were like basically saying like, he's kind of taking, he made the song to go in the same direction as the song Loco with YG, of course, which was huge, and that displayed like some form of like California culture, as a means to like, hey, black and brown pride and everything like that. So that's what some people are saying. So we're going to be looking at his apology video. Not too much, just a little bit. We're going to be taking a look. All right, so it says the LA Leakers is a safe space for all guests. We believe that the best way to tackle problems is through open communication, and we are that space for artists in our community. We appreciate Tyga and American Cholo coming in and honestly discussing the issue. Communication is key to understanding and peace. All right.
From the hottest
Yes, all right, it's Power 106. And that we've known.
My name is Gil, and I'm known as the American Cholo on podcast on YouTube.
Okay. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us.
I guess just right off the bat, we'll just get straight into the video. You dropped a video a few weeks ago. I Caramba. There was a lot of talk on social media, about it being offensive, and I think people had a lot to say about it. You reached out to me, and you were like, one of the people that you wanted to speak to that caught your attention was Gil, American Cholo. And so first and foremost, I want to say I thought it was dope for you to take the initiative to, to reach out. And that's honestly how this even happened. Shout out to our guy Lulu, who connected the dots for us as well, man. But I don't know if we should let you speak first, Gil, and just kind of like tell us your point of view on.
Right. So first of all, thank you for coming, Tyga. I appreciate that, man. I'm not looking for any kind of fight. I'm not looking to blame or call Tyga any names. I'm looking for some kind of understanding, because in the community, the brown community, Mexican community, whatever you want to call it, it wasn't the song itself that was so offensive to us. It was the videos. It was the visuals on it, right? And I believe that it has a lot to do with just not just Tyga himself, but a lot of the industry being tone deaf when it comes to Mexican American or just brown people in general. And let me explain to you what I saw as a brown man looking at that video, Tyga.
Okay, so this is more so like a conversational thing, right? It's one man explain. It's basically one man trying to explain more so the way the Hispanic and Latino culture is versus what the perception of Latino and Hispanic culture is to a black man. Understandable.
I'm looking at the video, and originally I see a greasy fat Mexican eating chips, room's all dirty, And then I see when he's outside in the lowrider, you got tortilla chips falling down. And a lot of times when it comes to us, people don't really see it. But when I flip the script on it and say, okay, let's put an African American man sitting down on a couch, dirty ass room, eating some fried chicken, goes outside to the lowrider scene, and you got watermelon falling from the sky. And that kind of visual is the kind of visual I got.
You would get a lot of backlash. Exactly. I see what he's saying there. You would get a lot of backlash. There would be it'd be so much hate if something like that happened. If there was a Hispanic person trying to emulate a black person or say that is what a black person does, yeah, it'd be a bunch of F that Hispanic, F that Mexican, da 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 da. You know, all the racial slurs would have came out of that.
It kind of explains to other people so they can see what we're talking about. And when the song itself, no, not at all, brother. I don't think the song is offensive. I don't believe the caramba part's offensive either, not in any way, shape, or form. But I think that maybe, I don't know if somebody wrote that video for you or you did it. I think when you guys were all in a room thinking about what you were doing, you guys probably thought it's going to be funny, it's going to be fun, we're going to have a good time about it. But it seems almost, and correct me if I'm wrong, like you had no real representation of any Mexican American in that room telling you, hey Tiger, I don't think this is it. To me, am I wrong?
Yeah, he didn't have a person representing the community that was brown that could say, hey, like, listen, bro, like, I know we're trying to have fun and I know we're trying to put together a good video for this song, but hey, man, respectfully speaking, this is gonna be very offensive. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't have somebody in his corner who could tell him that.
Think that it was just maybe you and maybe some white or other African American artists in the room when you guys were making that video?
I think what it was is, and like I wanted to go back to like why like I really wanted to sit with you because I mean I just got back from like Europe, so when I dropped the video I wasn't in LA, I was in Europe, and then I started seeing like a lot of people offended by it, and I was kind of confused, so that's why I didn't respond. I took time to like didn't comment on anything, didn't like any posts, and I kind of like tried to do my research a little bit. I tried to ask a lot of my friends that I grew up with that were Mexican. Sour Milk is like my DJ, he's Mexican. My engineer that recorded the song with me, he's Mexican. Like, so I was really kind of confused at first, like why are people offended? Because I've always done Latin. I've always done Latin records, and like when I've done something that was like a
somebody even went as far as saying that like Tyga is like half Mexican. I don't know how true that is, but somebody said that he's half Mexican. Not like that would make it any better, but like I don't know, man. Like let's just keep going.
Mexican, like Go Loco. Like I wrote that song and I was like, this reminds me. This song is literally for like the Mexicans I grew up with, you know what I'm saying, being from LA, that I went to high school with.
He grew up with.
This is, I want to pay homage to them. This is what I've seen growing up, and friends of mine, you know what I'm saying, when I made Go Local, that's what that was like. And I think with I Caramba, I wasn't thinking like this is for the Mexicans I grew up with, you know what I mean? So I think the people, at the end of the day, like I'm not Mexican, so I can't say like what Mexicans are offended by and not. You know what I'm saying? But I know like I had no intentions on offending anybody. Like, you know what I mean? So for one, like I want to apologize to like the Mexican community and like my fans that are Mexican. Like I have a lot of Latin fans that are Puerto Rican, Dominican that probably weren't offended by this video, but my Mexican fans in LA. There definitely was like some that were offended, and like you said, like people like American Cholo, you know what I'm saying, like so. And I was really just kind of confused, like because
I love the way he separated that up, and he was like maybe the Puerto Ricans, Salvadorians, and other like South American like people who are South American fans, who are fans of mine weren't offended by this, but the Mexicans specifically in Los Angeles were actually very upset with me. I like how he like could like identify the difference.
Because I wasn't making this video to be offensive. I was really making this video like to be creative, and the whole concept of the video was just different Latin things. It wasn't like a Mexican themed video. The songs, Mexicans don't say "ay caramba." Like that's more like just
okay,
saying,
all right,
like just a Latin word.
All right, okay. So he okay, wow, that's a shocker. That shocks me. So "ay caramba" is not even a Mexican word. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me just see. Like, is that like a caramba? Is that a "ay caramba" is says "ay caramba" from the Spanish interjections. "Ay" and "caramba" is an exclamation used in Portuguese. That's a Portuguese word. Okay. All right. That's interesting.
I think when I made the video, first of all, the character is just me in a fat suit. The character is not even Mexican. You know what I'm saying? But this character was literally a reference from I don't know if you've seen like Nutty Professor. There's a scene in Nutty Professor where he's like he has the same kind of sweatsuit on. Okay. And it's Eddie Murphy in a fat suit. And like he's like eating ice cream. Like it's kind of the same setup if you look at like the couch and the TV.
I know what he's talking.
And he's like he like wants to like do something for himself. He's like he feels bad for himself because he's like he's lazy and shit. You know what I'm saying? So now he's like working out and all that. So that was like, even when I spoke to the director, like those photos were my reference. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it was never my intention to be like, this character that I'm creating that I want to play, because I just want to do something fun. I like to animate with my videos.
It was to be fun and lighthearted, right?
This character is a fat Mexican character, and I think that's why I was confused, because I was like, but this is not a Mexican character, but this is a character. This is a Latin theme song to where like there are elements in there that are Mexican, like from Chips and Guacamole. But
like, he in that video, he literally had like, he was a salsa in that video. So I mean, it's not like he didn't. It's not like you couldn't like know that people weren't going to be offended by some of the things in the video. I'm sure he knew.
I mean, like that's not like everybody loves Chips and Guacamole. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I eat Mexican food twice a week, but like I'm from LA.
It's in the context of how you do it. I could understand how you're saying that, but then when you put the lowrider, you put it the lowrider. If it was like a guy in maybe a doctor suit, then you think, all right, doctor, whatever you thought you were going for, right? But when you put everything in context, and then you see, like I said, if you were seeing watermelon falling from the sky, the African American community would have been
obviously offended,
upset, rightfully so, right? And like I said, when it comes to like the Que Loco song, we made some noise and we said we didn't like it, and it wasn't so much the song; it was the wearing the mariachi suit. That mariachi suit is very sacred to a lot of people, right? That mariachi suit means family.
Wait, what? And Go Loco?
And the Go Loco.
Oh, YG had a mariachi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when we saw that, that's what we had an issue with, because that's tradition. That represents struggle. That represents family. And it seems like a lot of artists, and then after that one, are starting to do stuff like that. You had the Que Loco one, right? We make noise, but the thing is that people at higher platforms don't really listen to us, right? Mm-hmm. Then you had the one with Blueface Carne Asada. That was another one, which was even worse than any one of those other ones. And then you had this one, so it's almost like at a boiling point where we're like, man, when does this stop? To us, even though sitting here talking to you, I don't believe for 1 second, Tiger, that you did this maliciously and we're upset or like just trying to disrespect people, right? I do, to a point, feel like maybe you guys were like, well, there was a little backlash with the Kill Local one, but you know what? Backlash makes for more views, and that's where I'm standing from. Is what I'm kind of thinking. You guys are probably thinking, we'll get a little heat for it, no problem. We'll get more views, and they'll just be quiet, because that's the problem with the brown community a lot of times. We just look the other way, and that's where I'm standing from. A lot of us feel that way. That hey, these guys are just doing this in the entertainment industry to get the views, to get a little bit of controversy, and after that, we're gonna shut up like we've done for so many years, and we're gonna go away. You're gonna get your views, and you guys win. You know, as far as your project. But with us, we're really telling you, dude, this is offensive, and some younger individuals may say, this is not offensive to me.
Oh yeah, that's the younger Latino is probably gonna be like, yeah, this isn't offensive to me because they grew up different, and you know their values don't match up with the older generation of Latinos, especially the ones in California. I mean, I like that. This is really a grown man conversation. It's a lot of a lot of apologies, a lot of a lot of things, to a lot of grown man conversation, a lot of accountability lately that I've been seeing, in the media sphere or space. And this is just one of those. It's one of those things where it's just like y'all need to come to a common ground and understand. When you offend people, take the time to understand and just apologize and move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yet again another rapper has been X'd out of the equation, and yet again it's a rapper being taken in his own hometown. In a span of 10 years plus, 15 years plus, the amount of rappers that have passed away are the numbers are quite huge to say. You can go down the list of rappers. Some of it has nothing to do with being taken away in your own town. Some of it has to do with overdose. Some of it has to do with domestic disputes. Of course, the latter of it is gang violence close to it. Some of it is wrong place, wrong time. Some of it is the rapper had too much and wouldn't give it up. Just go down the list. XXX, Mac Miller, Young Dolph. Who else? King Von, Drake Yoda Rule, Pop Smoke. Just to name a few. And now, Jada Youngin.
Have an unfortunate situation to talk about. Today, we got to talk about a rapper and his dad who ended up getting shot. And close sources say that rapper may not be making it alive. Family, we're going to get into all this. And also, we're going to get into the possible events that led up to this. But before we do that, remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to jump right to it. Louisiana rapper Jada Youngin, a.k.a. Javaria Scott. Only 11 days after Jada Youngin's 24th birthday, he was reportedly shot to death with his father. Close sources have reported that Louisiana rapper Jada Youngin was shot sometime today in his hometown and was transported to the hospital. Also, according to reports, he was transmitted to the hospital via helicopter. And according to witness, he wasn't breathing at the time. As of right now, there's no updates, but I'm gonna make sure I give them as they've been provided to the public. According to sources, everyone close to Jada Youngin is still in speculation whether he's dead or alive. A lot of people is pointing back to an instance where his first baby mother, who go by the name of Jordan, had recently dissed his second baby mother, who recently had lost a child of her Jada Youngin baby. This wouldn't be the first time Jada Youngin was in the news, as the reason why they saying this was because she recently had gotten accused of getting beaten up after making those statements towards Jada Youngin's second baby mother. Some believe this could possibly be get back from Jordan's family. The fact that Jada Youngin and his dad was shot, and someone close had to know where they live in order to get their location. On Father's Day, Jordan's baby mother Jordan has celebrated the miscarriage by tweeting, "It's dead, B." Also, Jada Youngin baby mother was slammed for mocking the girlfriend who lost her baby. And y'all can do the research on that, because it's a little too graphic, and I don't really want to show no pictures of a female looking that way. This might be retaliation for the Louisiana rapper who's known for his hit song, 23 Island, which his first baby mother, Jordan, was also an appearance. Fam, as more details come, please be advised and please be aware that y'all can get them as well. But until then, this is the story of a Louisiana rapper who's up and coming, who ended up getting.
All right, so basically, he was. But basically, after all that, he basically was pronounced. He was basically pronounced that he passed away. He was at the time of I'm sure at the time of this video he was in like critical condition, but after like some hours, I believe it was his I believe it was my mixtapes that was like saying that he had already passed away, which was wrong of them to do in the first place. So like maybe some hours later, I don't trust any source, any like media source besides like maybe like Say Cheese, because Say Cheese like promoted him a lot. Say Cheese came out and put out a post that said that he had passed away. And then like the next day, Gucci Man put out this song called "Stop Dissing the Dead." And I don't want to take anything away from this Jada Youngin guy. I didn't listen to his music. I had heard of who he was, but I just didn't listen to his music. I'm not, there are just rappers that I don't know. They don't really catch my eye or anything like that. So, yeah. But Gucci Man put out this song called "Stop Dissing the Dead," and just it was a way to like bring awareness to the things that the events that had occurred, and of course, Julio basically was like trolling and saying like, oh, when he was alive, he was dissing me and being cool with the ops, which the ops is Young and Ace and everything like that. But honestly, in no capacity is it. I don't think it's cool in any capacity to be dissing anybody who has passed away. Like that's not cool at all. But it's not my dog. It's not my fight. So, but I just think like that is like so. Like, what does anybody gain from dissing somebody who's not there to defend themselves? Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing in any regard. But man, it's sad to say that I have to say this, but rappers dissing each other ain't gonna stop. Young rappers, gonna keep passing away before they can reach a certain age to be able to like thought you know what I'm saying? Like now another child is gone. Another mother is in mourning. Another father is in mourning. Another family is in mourning. You know, and it's not like it's not like he just got shot. It was also his dad that got shot. His dad was with him when he got shot. And then I wish I could find the video of like they came and got him at his house. Like I don't know whose house he was at, but they came and got him at the house. They knew his car and everything. So I mean, I feel like this had to be something to do with some type of like retaliation factor going on. And it's like crazy, bro. Like R.I.P. to that man. You know, I didn't listen to his music, but the family is in mourning.